the perfect shape, the perfect size. It's just perfect. All right, those are my brows. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jackie. Today we're going to be doing my eyebrow routine, but not my actual one, my old one. Today I got up to start getting ready, but you know, I do my eyebrows first, and I ran out of some products to do my eyebrows with my current eyebrow routine. So I was like, you know, we gotta get creative. We gotta think about how I used to do my eyebrows. That hair flip was excessive. Basically, I'm just gonna go in and do my old eyebrow routine, and hopefully it's as good as I remember. I kind of just stopped doing it just because I got new products that I really did like, so I started doing that, and it was a little bit easier because it was a pen versus this. I guess since we're talking about this, we can just jump right on into the video. This is my Maybelline Color Tattoo 24-hour eyeshadow in the shade 35 Tough as Taupe. Now, I know what you're thinking, that looks nothing like your hair color, but then and still I always liked a cooler eyeshadow tone, a cooler tone when it comes to my eyebrows. So with that being said, I use something like this instead of something really warm because I just feel like it didn't match my persona as much, and I like my eyebrows looking a touch gray since they're naturally looking a touch gray. We're just gonna jump on into this video because your girl needs some lashes. We're just gonna jump right on into this video because your girl needs some eyebrows on her face. Do you remember those days? I sure remember them, when I used to never do my eyebrows. So I started with like eyeliner, and then I started wearing eyeshadow, foundation, and I still wasn't doing my brows. I was like, whoa, let's not revisit that. We're revisiting my eyebrow routine and not the lack of an eyebrow routine. What I grabbed here is my Anastasia eyebrow brush. It's kind of all scratched up because it's very old, but this is the brush number 7 for the eyebrow. I think they have 2 of them, at least they did when I first started going into like dip brows type of stuff. What I'm going to do with this angled eyebrow brush is just go in, underline the under of my brows, starting at the front, just very lightly putting down some product and dragging it back. Now the reason I used this over a dip brow was, one, it was the perfect color for me, and I felt like it was the perfect color back then. I still think it's a really good color for me. Now it's just like, my perfect idea of a brow is gray toned on my face for some reason, and it's still working out really well. I just picked up some more product and I'm just filling the brow. At the front, there's obviously less product because I'm all about a gradient brow, you know. I don't want that harsh front. I don't do the upward strokes. I feel like every time I do the upward strokes, they end up being very harsh, so I don't like to do that. I just use whatever's left over on the product and rub it in, you know. This video is gonna be really quick because I don't think this brow tutorial or my old brow routine was very long. I'm just grabbing more product and going in with the other brow now. Ooh, can you tell that difference? It really did fill that in. Another reason I really liked to use this cream eyeshadow for my brows was because I kept finding that all the drugstore brow products would move around on my face. Like, I did love the Anastasia Brow Wiz. Who didn't love that, right? But I had spent so much money on the Brow Wiz. I was buying them like once every month, and I was like, wow, it's just, I feel like there's a better way. Like, but then I would try all the drugstore products, and at that time, the drugstore eyebrow like game was not doing it justice. Like, it was not that good in the drugstore. I would try all the products and they would just slip and slide on my face. I don't know if my eyebrows are greasy or whatever, but it would slip and slide everywhere and it was really annoying. One day I tried this for some reason, and actually I think I tried it in the brown version and it stayed on. So I was like, whoa, okay, but this is too warm toned. So I looked at the whole like Maybelline collection, and then I found this one and was like, hey, It almost looks purple in the container, but I was like, no, I think this will work. I think it's like gray, like taupe. It's called taupe, you know? So I tried it, and this thing really glues down on my brows. Like it stays in place. We'll go in and carve that out. So that's that. This is the, again, Maybelline Color Tattoo, and then I went in with a powder after it. Back then, I was going in with a different powder. I can't quite remember which one, but it was this exact shade. So I have the Wet n Wild Nude Awakening palette here, and this is the shade that I would go in with. Again, if you can tell, it's like super cool tone brown. And it's way darker than what my eyebrows are right now. So I really only went in with the tail, if I remember. Like I would go up until the curve of the brow and then kind of blend it out. So, you know, gradient brow. This is the Morphe M158 brush, which is another angled brush. I almost said eyeliner brush. Again, I'm just gonna put it on the tail of my brush to kind of, tail of my brow to kind of deepen it up. That's also where I lack the most eyebrow hair, like what you know about half brow. This is still the case, but I really focus on the top, like shaping the top, because the bottom I am gonna carve out, so we'll be fine on that. Brush in whatever's left over on the brush, right? Repeat to the other brow. Ooh, this one's not dark enough. It's gonna match the other one. Remember when everyone used to say like they're sisters, not twins or whatever? What if you're sisters and twins? If I ever feel it's too dark in the front or too harsh, I always go in with a finger and just like flick upward, you know? Get rid of that unibrow. That's it for the powder. We are almost done. Can you believe this? This is the Essence Make Me Brow Eyebrow Gel Mascara in the shade Soft Brownie Brows. Also, can you tell it's very taupey? I'm just gonna go in and kind of shape my hairs and have them stick down. I know I'm gonna have you guys zoomed in, so please ignore that pimple. Pushing upward over here, sliding it back and dragging it in the shape of my tail, my eyebrow tail. Ooh, I need to cut that hair. I'm not down for the bushy brows effect. Almost done here. We just gotta carve out the brows. If I were really looking for like my old routine, I would be using the Maybelline Master Conceal, but I don't have that anymore. This is the Catrice Cosmetics Liquid Camouflage Concealer, so I'm gonna use this one. Very similar effects. The actual concealers aren't that similar, but they're very similar in the effect and the look and wear of it. So this is where you gotta be a little careful, you know, especially since I did my eyeshadow already. But I am just very carefully going in, starting under the tail of my eyebrow to carve it out, because your girl loves a carved eyebrow. I always focus a lot on the tail and just making sure that gets cleaned up. When I started covering out my brows, my eyebrow routine started like making more sense to me, because before I would spend so much time on my eyebrows just trying to shape them, and then if it got messy I would get upset because I was like, oh my gosh. But then once, you know, like the Instagram brow was really popular at one point, I was like, whoa, I can just carve it out. So I still carve my eyebrows out, like, you know. Your girl is still all about a carved brow. It just lets you be messy with the process of applying the color at the bottom, because you know you can always fix it. Alright, those are my brows. If you want, you can highlight your brow bone. I didn't bring another brush to do that, so I'm just gonna grab the one we used for the concealer. And oh, did I even tell you what it was? This is the Morphe B16 brush. I love this to carve my underbrows, my brow bone. This is my holy grail for carving out your eyebrows. I will never use anything else ever again. I've tried many different brushes to try to get like this effect, or like have it feel like this, and nothing feels like this. This is just like the perfect little shape to carve out your brows, and it picks up the product without soaking it, and it also doesn't make it feel like the product's just moving around on your face way too much, like, you know. So it's like the perfect amount of control, the perfect amount of absorption, the perfect shape, the perfect size. It's just perfect. But yeah, since I have this out with me, actually, let's go in with the Wet n Wild Nude Awakening palette again. I'm just gonna highlight my brow bone with this shade right here. You know, they don't got names or whatever. This will also set that concealer down for us. Guys, my eyebrows are done. It still works. Like, I think it's a lot longer of a process than my current eyebrow routine because it is a little bit of a pencil, so it's a little quicker, but because it's potted, it takes a little bit longer. You gotta do some dipping, you gotta do some stamping on your face, but it's okay. We made it, we here. These are my eyebrows. I'm actually really impressed. I do still like the color of it. I do still like everything of it. I know this lasts on my face all day, so there's no question about that. Maybe I won't even go repurchase the eyebrow pencil, and I'll just keep doing this since I have so much of this. This is my second tub of it. And I remember I got the first one and I used it for a full year before it started drying up and I needed a new one. And I got pretty close to being done with it. So this will last me like a year, and it's like $10. The only thing you have to do is like purchase this, and you get an eyeshadow that's gonna last you like 3 freaking years when you're like, if you're just doing your brows with them, and some concealer. So I'm pretty impressed. I think I might even go back to my old eyebrow routine as like a daily routine again, potentially. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. I hope this inspired you to either revisit your old routines or, you know, try this routine out. It's very cheap. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.